And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and final review for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7, Episode 12. This is it, folks. It is done. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is completely finished. So I'm going to wrap up what happened last night's episode and give you my final thoughts on it as well. What's my favorite season? What was my favorite my favorite character? My favorite moments? Because I'm not going to be able to talk about the show ever again unless they revive it back in Disney Plus. Fingers crossed, because this show, I think, is just one of the best, maybe the best Marvel shows they have ever done. You know, let's face the facts. When it comes to TV, Marvel, they're okay. You know, their shows are okay. You know, sure, you have, Daredevil and Jessica Jones. They're great shows, but they're outside of the MCU. They're not like in DC where all of them are all connected into one universe, and now they expand that into the movie universe. Or Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was originally a part of it, and then they decide, yeah, we're not going to be a part of it anymore because apparently Kevin Feige had a fight with the guy who ran the TV division and didn't want to work with him anymore. So he was like, yeah, your continuity doesn't exist anymore. Then he took over, and then he put it back, and who knows. It's a long story, but anyway, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So last night, the final showdown began. Everybody knew that Enoch's prophecy was basically going to come true. The fact that, oh, this is going to be your final mission. You guys might not make it alive. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. So we're all wondering, is anybody going to die in this episode, in this final episode, this final hurrah for all the members of the team? Well, and of course, like I said before, spoilers, nobody died. Thank goodness. Everybody survives. Thank you. Well, let's talk about it, because honestly, there's a lot to cover here. This thing was like 2 hours. And, well, the first half, it was basically the team literally going to figure out what are they going to do. First of all, the whole, the Chronicons were attacking all the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. They were doing that. They were trying to figure out, Coulson, Yo-Yo, Maria Hill. They were, Melinda May, they were all trying to figure out how to stop that. They're in the lighthouse. They get attacked. Of course, their bunker has, like, ultimate defense systems from alien attacks. Always be prepared from S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's what they did. So that was what they were trying to do as well. While that all happened, you have Daisy, Susanoo, and, of course, Mac up in space trying to get back Gemma and her grandson, of course. And they decided that they had to split up the team to do the mission. They did it, of course, obviously. And then, of course, Daisy's sister got involved. At one point, she was looked like she was gonna turn back to being evil. And then, of course, she kind of came to realize that, yeah, the guy she was with was kind of like a jerk, and he only used her. And then she found out that, yeah, everything that he told her was basically a lie. And then, of course, at the end of that moment, Daisy ends up fighting Malik. And, of course, she wins. Although she did win in a way that I kind of wish she was using her powers in a different way, because he had the same powers as her, but he was using, like, punches and then combining it with the powers. Daisy always, and throughout the whole show, when she first got her powers, she always seemed to just powers and then starts fighting and then powers again. I mean, Malik was just combination. I kind of wish that Daisy did that more often in the show, but what can you do? I mean, she never really did. She just always used her shield skills mostly, but then used her powers as a backup tool. So there was that. But it was kind of cool to see that little fight scene from them. And of course, we find out the real reason why Gemma forgot about Fitz. And by the way, Fitz is back. He came back. Apparently, Fitz, and big jump roll for this one, because this was very cool. And I was like, oh, okay. Fitz was in the quantum realm the whole time. That's right, the quantum realm. Where Scott Lang was hanging around when the snap happened. That quantum realm. Janet Van Dyne was there as well. Where the Avengers go back in time to save humanity. That's right. So Fitz was basically in that whole thing the whole time. Apparently during that whole, when that fake Coulson came around from Marvel's season 6 season, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, you know, the whole fake Coulson from another dimension. You know, they had like that pyramid place that they were fighting in the last ending. Apparently, that was a key point to, you know, Fitz disappearing and then them going back in time to prevent something from happening. So then the Chronicrons wouldn't get anywhere near. It was very confusing. I have to watch it again to see remember what was actually going on. But the logistic of it is that the fact that Fitz the whole time was in the quantum realm. He saw different scenarios of how Shield will win, Shield will lose, and all this and that. Certain members were key elements of them victories, and some of them were kind of like how Doctor Strange saw different versions of, you know, them winning and losing. You know, one particularly when Iron Man died. Spoiler alert. Kind of like that situation where he saw multiple versions of the team and how they will play out that event. So, and then of course they all travel back with the Chronicons to their Earth, which is Earth 1, or their timeline, the original timeline, so that way they could put all the pieces back together. And just seeing Fitz come back just for half an hour, I was like, yes, I missed it. And of course, you know, Gemma in the beginning, she didn't know who she was. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And of course, once Fitz came back, started to put the pieces back together for her, she remembered instantly, and it was amazing. I thought that stuff was great. And at the end of that, we got to see their kid when they were in space together. They had a kid, which we all know ends up being the mother of Deke. You know, eventually grows up and Deke becomes who he is, meets the team later on, comes back with them, you know, the rest. I thought that was all great. Then it goes, I think, a couple years later. Flash forwards, I think it's a year later, or it was maybe 5 years later. I don't remember how long it was. It happened really quick. So they all gathered. They all decided that, hey, listen, guys, we're gonna, you know, gather around once in a while to come see how everybody's doing. Oh, by the way, Deke decided to stay in the past because the machine from the past had enough energy to send their jet back to time. So then he needed to stay there, which was okay because, you know, I guess Deke is gonna either when he gets born, I guess his past version is gonna disappear. I don't know how that's gonna work, but okay. So Deke stayed behind in the 1980s. Susanoo went back with the team as well, and the team just moved on. You know, Daisy and her sister and Susanoo are all in space. Daisy and I believe Susanoo are together. So that's cool. Mac is, you know, the leader of the new S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, he's in a helicarrier at the end of it. So that was cool. Because remember, there is a S.H.I.E.L.D. team still on Earth. You know, even if Avengers movies, they mention S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. is still around. It's just that Coulson's not there. Coulson's not there. Well, maybe Coulson is there. Not really sure how they're going to play that out. I doubt it, but who knows. But I'll get to my theory about that in a minute. Coulson is there, but Nick Fury, Maria Hill, I don't think they're there. I think that they're going to be in space doing the S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, the sword thing, which is the second, kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's the sword division where they make sure that alien threats don't come to Earth. So while Coulson and the rest of the team are going to be there, maybe there's going to be Skrulls there with them. Who knows? Maybe we'll pop up. We'll see Coulson in the in a future MCU movie. I doubt it, but I kind of wish he would come back. So that way the Avengers will know he's actually alive, because they still don't know he's alive or dead. They still think he's dead, so there's that. Melinda May, she's a teacher now at a Coulson Academy, which is basically, I guess, a school to learn how to become a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So that was pretty cool. And then, of course, like I said, Yo-Yo's on her missions as well, doing her thing. That was great. Look, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., let me talk about the season itself by itself. First of all, I love all the time travel stuff. And, you know, oh, by the way, before I forget, Gemma and, of course, Fitz and their daughter all living happily lives. So that's great as well. And then, of course, you know, this whole season was fun. Wasn't the best season, in my opinion. It wasn't the greatest season that they had. But I still enjoyed, you know, the whole time travel. The whole thing that, you know, Coulson was back again. But this time he was a Chronicron, so that was kind of cool. I wonder if he would be able to, you know, I just wonder something. I wonder if Coulson will be able to see a Skrull in disguised form. You know, he's a Chronicron, he's an alien, so I wonder if they had that technology to, scan people like that. Maybe maybe he'll be the reason that the secret invasion happens and he finds out. I mean, apparently that's what the rumor is for the next Avenger movie. They want to do a secret invasion, but who knows? I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyway, I liked it this season. It was a lot of fun. It was great seeing certain characters come back. I did wish Fitz was in the season more, but I understand why he was not there, because they needed to protect the universe in a way, So that was kind of cool. I like the fact that they mentioned the fact that he was in the quantum realm. They all were in the quantum realm, so it brought back Endgame vibe feelings. I was like, oh, they're all back in the quantum realm, the time portal, the time tunnels. So that was kind of cool. I like that a lot. Overall, Shield was an amazing show. I enjoyed every season of it. Some more than others. For me personally, season 4 is still my favorite season. First of all, you got to see Madam Hydra, which is like cool. Ada. That's where they really introduced us to the LND characters. And then, of course, we got to see Ghost Rider. I mean, not Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, but, the other Ghost Rider with the freaking car. So, that pretty much expanded the universe even more, that Ghost Rider exists in the MCU. Even though, technically, this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's still questionable if it's even inside the MCU. Or maybe, in its own jurisdiction, how like New York and New Jersey, or can you say, oh, New Jersey, I'm a New Yorker too. Can you say that? Or New York is its own thing, you know what I mean? It's like two different states. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU, because sometimes, yeah, you have New Yorkers saying that I'm from Jersey, but I also live here. But yet, the MCU does its own thing, but yet sometimes gets referenced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and vice versa. So it's very hard to see where the heck Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually falls into the MCU's map. But I'm a figure that the MCU and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of like, how can I put it? Okay, Grand Theft Auto? You ever seen that game, Grand Theft Auto? Remember how it used to have maps? Okay, the map is huge, but yet there's that one section you can't get there unless you have like a helicopter or a plane. That's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me. That's how I'm going to put it, as, it's in the MCU, but you have to take like a plane and a train to go all the way around the MCU map line to get there, and just reference them once in a blue moon. You have the Defenders and the other guys on the other side of the map that you can't even reach. So they don't even mention those guys anymore. Well, technically they don't even exist anymore. And now they're going to connect a new piece of X-Men and Fantastic Four into the map. So that's how I see the whole MCU map. But, like I said, I really enjoyed this show. Daisy was a great character. She went from just being a normal tech hacker girl to being a superhuman, to being one of the greatest superheroes out there. And she's awesome, by the way. And then, of course, you have Coulson. Coulson, got redeemed. We all loved Coulson in the MCU. We got to see him come back in Captain Marvel, and he was great. And he really shined in this show. Melinda May, I think she might be this only person who can rival Black Widow. That's my opinion. I would love to see the two of them fight in the MCU one day. I don't know who will win, but I think it'll be a very close fight. But seriously, I think she was awesome as well. The actress who plays her is amazing. I mean, she's freaking Mulan, for Christ's sake. So you gotta respect the title, So she's amazing. And of course, you have Gemma and Fitz. I think, like I said before, if you didn't hear it before, I'll say it again. It's my third favorite, maybe my second or third favorite couple on screen for TV, behind Arrows, Felicity and Oliver, and of course Barry and Iris as well, So I think their chemistry was great. The way that they incorporated science and how they figure out certain things. They figured out time travel, which was amazing. And I mean, listen, none of them are so smart, I guess, as Tony Stark. Tony Stark will always be more smarter. But I think, in my opinion, they figured out time travel before he did. Yeah, sure. He figured it out in one day. Sure, but yeah, technically they already figured it out before he did. So, and yeah, it took them longer, but still, I like how when science plays out, because, it makes more sense with science. You figure out, okay, I'm going to figure out time travel. It's going to take me like 6 years to figure it out. But yet some guy figures it out one day. It's just too fast. Yeah, so like one of my negatives about Endgame, but whatever. Anyway, I just like the fact that the chemistry that they had together was amazing. The actors who played them, both of them, were very great. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do moving on. Um, Mac was great. The actor who plays Mac was great. I mean, the guy had the most coolest weapon anybody would want to have it. You want to take a shotgun axe to a zombie apocalypse fight. We all want that weapon. So that's like that's got to be more powerful than the Infinity Stone. Seriously, that gun was so cool. It was a shotgun and an axe. Who would not want that? Seriously, I thought that was great. The whole team was amazing. Even the past team members who were there. You had Pat Oswalt there. You had the late Bill Paxton when his character's there. They brought his character back, younger version. I mean, I kind of wish Bill Paxton was still alive to come back to play that character, but unfortunately, he's not around anymore. But yeah, I just thought everything was great about Agents of Shield. There wasn't like oh my god, I can't stand this season. For me personally, there wasn't that one season that was like, oh really. I think my weakest season, if I had to think about it, my weakest season would have been probably the first season. I liked the first season. I just wish, there were more things too about it. It really expanded after 2 moving on, because at 2, they were really pushing for the Inhumans. Obviously, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with the Inhumans now, but the Inhumans were literally smack into that world. Because remember, at that time, Marvel was going to do an Inhumans movie because they didn't have the X-Men at the time. They were going to use the Inhumans to be their X-Men characters. Unfortunately, they never did it. They left it on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then they were going to branch it out into, television. Unfortunately, that didn't work. So, I mean, I thought it was okay for what it was. I thought the actor who played Black Bolt was great, but what can he do? Anyway, I thought they handled the Inhuman stuff in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. very well. It's very different from the mutants, obviously. So they're gonna have to really work hard to make sure that we love the mutant characters, but also the world fears them. So we gotta keep an eye on that for that. But seriously, I thought that they handled the Inhuman stuff pretty well. Like I said, season 4, the LMD stuff, Ghost Rider was great. Hydra coming back was a good part of it as well. 5, when they went into space, the whole Thanos is coming theory, back when Infinity War was coming out, so there was that, and hyping up that stuff, so that was cool. The stuff with Coulson, I liked as well. That might be my weakest. Between 6 and 7, I think 6 and 7 might be my weakest. Not too sure. I might have to rewatch them all over again. But 4 is definitely my favorite out of all of them. And then I go maybe 3, 2, 6, 7, 1. I think that's how I will go. I'm not sure. Like I said, I have to rewatch it again. But overall, I enjoyed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought it was an amazing show. I'm going to miss it a lot. But let's just hope Marvel gives us some great Disney Plus shows. And hopefully they gives us that same magic of great characters. Obviously, most of the characters we already know that we're getting on Disney Plus, but like, talk about like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, they gotta crack that thing properly. She-Hulk definitely has to be cracked properly. Miss Marvel, if they can't make a Miss Marvel movie, they have no right to even make Mr. Fantastic. Sorry, I'm just saying. If they don't crack, Miss Marvel, they shouldn't even try Fantastic Four, seriously. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, overall, this show, I thought it was a lot of fun. You may thought it was okay. A lot of people wanted the show canceled a long time ago, but there were a lot of fans who actually enjoyed it. I'm one of them. I'm so glad it's at least survived 7 seasons. Not a lot of shows survived that long. A lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is super lucky to even have 7 seasons. They could have been canned maybe at 3. Some shows get lucky if they get 3. Unless you're Supernatural, then I don't know what kind of holy water they drink. I think got like 15 seasons. I think they want to do another one, so who knows? Even though they said that's the last one, but technically this doesn't count because of the whole pandemic. Anyway, but yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of the most luckiest shows on TV because they had 7 great seasons. I don't know how the ratings were, but you know, they always change times. One time it was 8 o'clock, then it was 9, then it went to 10 o'clock. So the, you know, yeah, it ran a little bit late, but still, I enjoyed every moment of it. You know, there were moments I was like, I need to see the next episode. I need to see the next episode. And of course, the end of the episode was just Coulson leaving with his car again, and it was just great. I'm going to enjoy this show. I'm going to thank everybody at Marvel for making this show. Everybody was involved with it, all the cast, crew, everybody from the bagel guy who has to get them bagels. Thank you to all of them, making a great show for us audience to watch who are Marvel fans. So, yeah, you know, very, very awesome. You know, I always have my favorite DC shows, but, you know, it's nice to have a nice Marvel show as well. And I can't wait for the Disney Plus stuff to start. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. overall. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys dropped off after, like, what, season 1, maybe even season 2, and then you came back? Maybe you're still not onto it. Maybe you still have to catch up. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about it overall. And stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.